Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of English in Practice. It's Kareem with you, your English teacher. Today we will look at some confusing homophones and have examples to learn their different meanings and to avoid making mistakes when using them, so keep watching. Before we start learning these confusing homophones, let me answer the question that you're all having right now. What are homophones? Homophones are words that have the same pronunciation but express different meanings and are spelled differently. The words see and see, for example, are homophones. They do have the same pronunciation, but they are spelled differently and they express different meanings. Homophones do sound confusing because of the same pronunciation they share. However, when used in the correct context, they should never be confusing, so you should have no worries. Let me give you two examples so that you understand what I'm talking about here. I can't see the car you're talking about. Example 2. Jack took off his shirt and ran into the sea. As you can see, these two words do sound confusing because they have the same pronunciation. But because they are used in the correct context, you can tell the difference and know which word the speaker is using. So you should have no worries, as I said. Now let's learn the other homophones on today's list. The first pair of confusing homophones includes the two words which and which. These two words do share the same pronunciation, but as you can see, they are spelled differently. Let's have examples to discuss their different meanings. Example 1. Jack bought a new laptop which wasn't worth the price. Example 2. I don't like fantasy movies, especially those talking about witches. In the first example, the word which is a relative pronoun and it's used to refer back to the laptop Jack bought. Now without this conjunction, my sentence should be two sentences. Jack bought a new laptop. This new laptop wasn't worth the money. In the second example, the word witch or witches is a noun and it refers to someone who claims to have magical powers. So as you can see, the two words do share the same pronunciation, but they express entirely different meanings. The second group of confusing homophones includes the two words whether and weather. These two homophones do share the same pronunciation, but they have a difference in their spelling. To be more precise, the difference in spelling is not that big. That's why these two words can be more confusing to English learners. Let's have examples so that we understand the differences in their meanings. Example 1. The weather is too bad to go on a trip. Example 2. I'm not sure whether I should buy the game or not. In the first example, the word weather is a noun that refers to the condition of the atmosphere in a certain place at a certain time. In other words, this word refers to when it's hot, cloudy, rainy, etc. In the second example, the word whether is a conjunction, and this conjunction is used to talk about a choice between two alternatives. So in my example, I have two options. Option 1 is to buy the game. Option 2 is not to buy the game. So using the conjunction here, or the conjunction that I used in my example, helps me introduce the two options. The third group of homophones includes the two words bear and bear. Again, like the other homophones, these two words do share the same pronunciation, but they have different meanings. Let's have examples. Example 1. The party guests arrived bearing gifts. Example 2. She touched the flames with her bare hands. In the first example, the word bearing or bear is a verb and it means to carry something. So my example means that the party guests arrived carrying gifts. In the second example, the word bear is an adjective and it's used to refer to a body part that is not covered, in clothes of course. So my example means that she touched the flames without covering her hand or maybe wearing gloves. The fourth and last group on today's list includes the two words break and break. Let's begin with examples and discuss the differences between these two words. The first example is, Jack suddenly braked to avoid hitting the car in front of him. Example 2, Jack dropped the plate and broke it. Now, as you can see, I use these two verbs in the past tense, so they don't really share the same pronunciation. But when you use them in the present tense or in their base form, you can see that they share the same pronunciation, break and break. In the first example, braked, which is the past tense of break, is a verb, and it means to use the brakes in your car to slow it down or to stop it. In my example, Jack used the brakes to avoid the car accident, to avoid hitting the car in front of him. In the second example, the word broke, which is the past tense of break, is also a verb but has a different meaning. To break something means to cause it to be in several pieces. So according to my example, the plate is no longer one piece. Today we looked at different homophones that can be confusing to English learners. We had examples to learn their different meanings and how to use them without mistaking them. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you very much. Stay safe.